guys. So this is a Cronem show once again, but this time we got Denzel XI, and we still got Blue Epps in the club because at this point he taking over.
Yes, sir.
So you don't even know who Denzel XI is. Do you want to be called Denzel XI or just Denzel?
It's Denzel's cool. I've been thinking of changing my name.
Don't do it, cause don't do it, cause what do you want to change it to? Just Denzel?
I don't know, bro.
Leave the XI, like that shit is branded.
It is, man. I've had it for so long. I can't just.
Like from the beginning of your producing?
Yeah.
How long you been producing?
Bro, from when I was making like freaking like gaming videos, it's been Denzel XI for the longest time. I've been producing for like 7 years.
True. Sure. Who's your first placement? First placement.
That's a good question.
I'm trying to remember who my first placement was.
Oh, it was with J-Neat, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so you just got in there early and just
Like 2021.
come to the top of this shit.
How long have you been producing?
I started making beats like probably 2018, maybe 2017, but I started making good beats like at least by 2020. That's not as cap, like 2019 for sure. Yeah, that's when I started getting better.
I feel like I started making good beats like 2 years ago.
Like I always had the right concepts, but my shit was always out of key
Oh,
and
fuck.
little dumb shit like that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's major albums without a key 808, unfortunately.
Like I have a song I released like 2018. Until this day, I refuse to listen to it because I don't like how it sounds because I know that the 808's in the wrong key, so I won't play it.
What song is it?
Swerve Freestyle.
Your own stuff?
Yeah. And then there's a next one. It's a Go. More than likely, that's in the wrong key. More than likely.
Is it a hit?
It's a dope song.
Can you fix it?
I don't know if I have the stems for like that. The stems for that beat anymore.
But when it comes to like keys, don't you feel like you're just being picky? Because a consumer doesn't give a fuck about if your shit's in the wrong key. If it just sounds right to them.
It should just be sounding weird and muddy in a sense when it's in the wrong key.
Yeah.
Like, you
There's
know?
dissonance like it. But yo, that song "Congratulations" by Post Malone.
Holy fuck! Don't tell me that's in the wrong key.
Bro, there's one 808 that's in the wrong key, and that's like I think that song's Diamond.
Yeah,
Wait,
but
so what's in the wrong key
exactly because it's like even if that's like a wrong key, people never heard it. I never heard a wrong key in that song. I don't even care about the beat.
When it comes to what? The melody or the
The 808. Yeah. But like it doesn't sound it sounds off, but it doesn't sound like shit to like the normal ear. So
That's the thing. Sometimes something can be in the wrong key, but it's still. I mean, is it in the right scale?
I think so. I don't
So
fully
sometimes
remember.
it could get a pass.
Yeah. But sometimes it sounds like awful. And like it's a no-go.
Like I'm convinced. Like, okay, if we're going back to like when Soulja Boy started, we know like a lot of those producers back then had shit in the wrong key and shit, like the snap era and all that.
Yeah. Soulja Boy's auto-tune was out of key a handful of times.
Everyone's was back
All
then.
of their keys were bad in auto. Come on, Lil Wayne, T-Pain had the best auto tune.
Yeah, yeah. He was
But-
the pioneer of like good auto-tune.
Yeah, but Lil Wayne, Soulja Boy, everybody that used autotune after that, they didn't know how to use it properly, bro. Everybody's autotune sounded like shit.
There's definitely a science to it for sure. You think so?
Yeah, the science is to friggin' sing on the key of the beat
And have a good
And-
engineer.
and have a super duper great engineer, because if you don't sing on the key of the actual beat, then you're gonna be off automatically. There's artists that would come in and be like, I'm singing in this key, but I'm in my head I'm like, but the beat is not the key that you're supposed to be singing in. But hey, what am I supposed to say? They're paying me, so
Hold on, the best example is Lumidee with Uh-Oh.
I don't even know that song.
It was off?
Extremely.
but even to the natural ear, that doesn't sound off though.
You know what it
Yeah, I
is?
was gonna
Now
say
that
that.
now that we're grown, if we really listen, we'll be like, wait a minute. I think it's because we make music. That's why we know this now.
Yeah.
But a lot of people on social media, like, there's a lot of memes about that shit still. So that's why I think that's when I first realized when I was like, hold on, let me go listen back to that. It's like, nah, this is actually crazy.
No, yeah, because any profession you get into, like, say you get into like film or music videos, and you start really watching the music videos for the music videos, like, you're gonna see beer mistakes in there. because you're a part of that now. Now you're seeing color correction. Now you know edit chops and shit like that. So you're gonna be like, wait, why did they keep that part in there? Like even littlest mistakes, like maybe some random person just looking directly in the camera in the background. Why didn't he cut that out? Like, you know, you're gonna notice that because you're in the game now. You know what I mean? So I guess you become more anal about things. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's annoying for us as professionals, but like I said, to the outside consumer, they don't give a shit as long as it makes them move.
No, that's true.
Or as long as they have a feeling or emotion to it, you know?
There's even songs that are not even mixed and they already blew up before they could get mixed.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Since we're basically talking about studio sessions and shit, what's your worst studio experience?
Me?
At this point, we might as well go around the whole room for everyone, like everyone's worst studio experience. Let's start with Vagez, because like he's been around for a minute.
You know my worst studio experience.
Actually, no, not that one. But outside of that,
No, we have to hear that one.
No.
We have to hear that one.
We can't tell that
We have
one.
to hear that one.
That one is you got to pay for the hear that story. You got to pay. That was the worst studio experience, and it was my fault. I'll say that it was 100% my fault. Why that happened?
Are you allowed to say it?
No, we can't talk about it. But City Amino. Besides that session, yeah, you know.
And the song could have turned out better, you know, because sometimes we lose sessions. It happens. So I'm stuck with the rough draft till this day. You know what I mean? It is what it is, though. It is what it is.
I think one of the worst studio sessions was I had a client. I was in studio with a client, and I had another client pass by unannounced, and the two clients don't agree. So they were outside the studio texting me like, let me in. And I'm like, I'm in a session, private session. And they're like, who you with? Like trying to press me. And I'm like, bro, like beat it. And they're just outside making noise. Like, and I'm there like getting like bothered because this guy had the stick on him. So I'm just like, yo, fam, like you guys cannot be doing this right now. And I was so terrified.
At this point,
super
you
terrified.
need to start working with a gospel artist, fam.
Man, this is why I make sure all my sessions are like 30 minutes apart.
That's not enough.
You have to do
man
like
like
at
me
least an
shows up an
hour,
hour
bro.
early.
An hour,
Yo,
dog.
Big I show up like an hour, 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, you can't be
man.
doing 30 minutes. Those are the fam. Even that one, and man, there's so many stupid stories. Like I remember in the dungeon, we are just doing back-to-backs. Friggin' 2:30, 3:30 client come 3:30, 4:30 client come 4:30, 5:30. Like niggas just had no buffering time, bro. Niggas had no time to get their songs together. Fabulous. That's why the dungeon shut down. Is because we
I've
never
never
gave
even been there. I don't even know where it was.
Brimley and Lawrence, underneath Sunny Diamonds.
Okay, I didn't know that Sunny Diamond's location. I went to the one at what street was that? It wasn't Warden. Did the street start with a K?
The only time I went to
I'm talking
Sunny,
about like the old school Sunny Diamonds.
you're
like,
talking about 80s baby Sunny Diamonds? That one, like back in the day in Malvern?
Nah. Where the fuck was it? It was it off of Shepherd?
Oh, I think he had one by Bad Lad. By Kennedy and Shepherd. There's
we
like in
go.
the back spot.
Yeah, right by Kenny and Shepherd.
Yeah, that's the that's like high school days for me, old school Sunny Diamonds.
That's why I recorded most of Nightmare on Finch Ave.
Okay.
Man, shout out to real quick. We
okay.
need to get him on here next time and thing. I was actually all supposed to hit him up, yo. Fuck.
Yeah, but that was my few. I had a few.
All right, Denzel, worst session.
I was working at some studio in Brampton, and the artist came in, and he recorded. I think he was expecting a different engineer, because I was like the new guy at that studio at the time, and they were like, "Oh, is the other guy here?" And I was like, "No, I'm taking care of you today." And he was already just in a bad mood, and then after that, the guy recorded one line, and he was like, "Yo, this sounds like fucking shit. This sounds like shit." And he got pissed, and I was like, "Man, you did one line. Like,
do you want to try again?
I work on your track through while you're making it, you know? Like, I can't make it sound like, you know, I can't mix and master your whole song from one line. And then this guy just, like, he left. I was like, okay. That was the only time someone's ever walked out. And I
Yeah,
was
I've never
like, what
walked
the
out on a
fuck?
session, so I always like thug it out to the end and see like, you know, and I'll ask you like, so do you want me to pay you in full? And if you say yes, all right. Because I didn't have to stay here still, but I still did. So I'm gonna
Bro.
be that much fair, you know.
That was the first and last time that ever happened to me. And I was like,
Or I'm gonna complain to like the studio owner and be like, yo, this ain't working. What can we do about this?
So did they still pay Denzel?
no.
Oh, goddamn. Goddamn. What a waste.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like, I've never had someone record one line and just dip.
Shit, Blue. What's your worst session?
Oh,
And nah, he's not an engineer. He's just an artist.
I'm just an artist.
I mean, you could also discuss bad engineers or bad producers.
So
Trying to think of it's a bad experience for me. Well, there was this one session I went to, I guess when I first started rapping, which was a while back. The engineer, there's two engineers there. They both double booked this session. So they were bickering amongst each other who was gonna do the session. And we waited. So 15, 20 minutes went by. Still, they can't figure out who's supposed to do the session, who's going to do the session,
who's supposed to engineer you?
who's supposed to engineer the session, right? They double booked. So
was it two artists and so each client, each engineer had their each client?
yes.
Oh, fuck.
So you had me, you had two other artists, right? And then you had another group. There's only one studio, and we're both booked. Both groups are booked at the same time.
I probably would have cut personally.
Two different engineers. So right. So now they're both arguing to see where they went wrong, on how you got double booked, and who's gonna take the time now. Right. Not to mention the studio's gonna close in 2 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's not like there's any more time to do anyway. So someone has to take the time. So they kept on bickering about it for 20 minutes or whatever. And they just pretty much just like, well, what do you guys want to do? Who wants to kind of take one for the team? You know what I mean? Type thing.
That's dumb.
It's so stupid. Both groups are just like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? What type of business are you guys running? How the fuck do you double book both of us? And you can't come to a conclusion yet. It's been 20 minutes. And they're just like, well, you know, this, that, and whatever, the computer, and da-da-da, da-da-da. And we're just like, well, we're not paying for this shit. We're not paying for this. Nobody's even started recording yet. So, you know, what's exactly going to happen here type shit. And they just like, you know what? It wouldn't be fair to the other person to let you start recording and the other person has to wait and record later because there's no more time left. So nobody got to record.
God damn.
So everybody had to go home.
That's a crazy rookie mistake.
That's probably what I would have did. Told everyone I
Holy.
cut.
Stupid.
I've
Stupid.
never heard of that.
Stupid.
That's insane.
Stupid.
Yeah, I definitely would have went. I would have just left. Right. If you guys double book, I'm out of here.
So
Fuck
we
it.
waited because we really wanted to record and we really had stuff we needed to do. And the other group, same thing too. But the final conclusion was nobody recorded anything. Everybody left.
What a shame.
Bullshit.
So that's why it's very important to come earlier. Don't come at the time you're supposed to record. You actually should come at least. You know, like a job interview where they say you're late if you're not 15 minutes early.
That's facts.
So the same thing should apply for that. You should be there at least 15 minutes early to a half hour early. So if some complication like this happens, they have an opportunity to fix it.
Or you could at least say, well, I'm here first.
I'm here first, or I'm, who has the next slot? Can you push the next slot? Right? And maybe that's what they could have did.
Yeah.
If there was more time left. But since the studio was going to close, there was no more time to shift anything. So everybody got fucked over.
Bullshit.
So yeah, that's my.
It's crazy.
My worst session as an engineer. Shit. I still got paid for it. All right, so I be providing an experience where you could pull up to the crib and shit. You could kick it for a week, a weekend, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to charge you per time. I'm going to charge you. Phone on, do not on vibrate, please. Whoever. What a guy, huh?
I think it's me.
It wasn't me.
I knew it.
It wasn't me either.
Wait, you said it wasn't you?
It's
It wasn't
definitely
me.
it's definitely not me.
Or it might have been me.
Of course it's you.
All right, so this session, this young lady, she had a problem. She had like a severe ADHD and could not focus. And she was going through a lot of trauma at the time. So like the 3 days she spent working with me, there was no work being done. I made one beat kinda. I never got to finish it because all she wanted to do was just talk. So I got paid like whatever I got paid. And she got a rough draft of a beat after 3 days.
Yo, we're really therapists. I'm not gonna lie.
So let me get this straight. There was no work done?
Nope.
She talked to you for 3 days?
Yep.
Did she feel better?
I'm not sure.
What the fuck?
I'm not sure. Like, nah, like you know how some people are mud?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's mud still. Like she ain't wrapped too tight. But I didn't know that.
And she stayed for 3 days?
Yeah,
Can I ask another question?
yeah.
Is anybody else thinking this before I ask?
I had nothing to do with it. With her traumas.
Okay, fine. Okay. In that case, then, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You got paid, though.
Yeah. I got paid in full.
Have you worked with her
Wow.
since? That's
Nope.
the question.
No, I haven't. We don't speak anymore. I can't remember the exact reason, but I remember like one day, like she was just having an episode and like she was going off on me, and then she just blocked me and shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Is her music good?
Yeah,
She's a good artist.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
She's
I don't
she's
know if
probably
she
one
still
of the
makes
best.
music, though.
She's probably one of the best. I think I know who you're talking about. Do I know who you're talking about?
I don't know. Describe what
Uh,
she looked like.
She's a
No.
okay. So it's the wrong person.
So who the fuck you might be talking about?
The same shorty we have an issue with.
We?
Well, she has an issue with everybody,
Okay.
and she likes to a lot. Not her, right?
No.
Okay.
I wonder how
Okay.
she's doing. I hope she's doing well.
Well, she doesn't have any money, so I don't think she would have paid you. So yeah, I should have. Yeah, that's the wrong person for sure.
Okay.
All right then.
On to the next.
All right. How do you feel about artists that don't have money?
You did
but
not hold on. You did not answer your worst session as an artist.
Oh, as an artist?
Yes.
Oh, you're a producer.
Keep
Okay.
going.
Worst session as an artist. All right, so this is when I was working with Bugs Baguettes. He now goes by YRS Bugs. He's from New York. Shout out Crow. Big Rolling 60s.
Neighborhood.
We always had good sessions. It's just the studio I was working out with him. Yo, they wouldn't give me my stems and all type of dumb shit, you know? So like me and him were actually working on the tape. You know what I'm saying? It was called Crody Season. This is, remember, we the ones that brought that crow talk to Toronto anyways. People want to act like it's not factual, you know? You know what I'm saying? But
Agreed.
yeah, like we probably had like 4 tracks in. And they weren't trying to give up the stems and shit. They're talking about, oh, you gotta pay extra, blah, blah, blah. Then, the computer got wiped, all type of whack shit. So it's like all those features that, and he was even taxing me on the features. Like, it just got to a point where it's like, we're locked in, you know? So he just said, just pay for my Uber to get to the studio and you're straight. That's it, just pay for my Uber back and forth and you're straight, you know? And then shit, motherfuckers was just hating and shit, and then wouldn't give me my stems and all type of shit. Like, we wasn't trying to just approach people on violence and shit because they weren't like that, and it doesn't make sense, you know? So just took that L and left it at that. But we're locking out some new shit when time comes, you know? In the meantime, we do have one song we did release back in the day on the John T. Laker Ventilation project. Track's called Let Me Zone. It's cool for what I was doing at the time, you know, but I've definitely grown as an artist. Like, there was a track that was supposed to have me, him, and T.Y. T.Y. is BG's son from Hot Boys, right? And that was another one of those ones that got lost. Like, I was doing some shit, yo. Trust me. But free T.Y. too, yo. He'll be home in a minute. He said the newest gun he got a computer in it. Crazy.
Is there even such thing? Like an AI gun? An AI gun. How does that work?
I don't know what he meant by that when he said it on the song, but I was like, you know what? That sounds like some shit. Don't play with him. He from Chopper City, right? Don't play with him.
Fam, a gun with a computer in it is wild.
Super
I only
wild.
see that in sci-fi.
Yeah, super
Like, what did he mean? A switch?
Like Judge Dredd.
Wait, what's Judge Dredd? I'm about to Google this shit.
Judge Dredd had with the hammer and you can speak to it. like Knight Rider or
Holy
something.
fuck.
What the
It's
fuck,
crazy.
B?
crazy.
I've never heard of Judge Dredd, yo.
No?
Ah.
With Sylvester Stallone?
You're like a young OG. I don't know how you don't know. Everybody's supposed to know Judge Dredd. Denzel, do you know who Judge Dredd is?
I have no idea.
What the fuck?
Yo,
Aren't you a
Denzel's
gamer?
He's like 20 years old or some shit.
No, but you're a gamer though. You don't know
I'm not a
Robo. Like,
gamer.
you
How
know
old are you,
Robo.
20?
22.
See what I mean?
But I swear, Dredd just came out with a movie in your time.
He did.
Like with
But it
those
wasn't with
kind of
Sylvester Stallone. It was somebody else.
yeah. But even just the character is a comic book character. Is a pop culture character. Like he came out in pretty much in two eras. Our era in the 90s, and he came out in 2000. So it's crazy how you guys don't know who Judge Dredd is, bro. But you guys know who RoboCop is, right?
Yeah, I never watched it though.
Me neither.
But you know who Ninja Turtles are, right?
Of course.
Mhm.
So I'm saying you're supposed to know who Judge Dredd is. That is kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
Judge Dredd wasn't a cartoon though.
It's a comic book. It derives from a comic book.
I did not know that.
Oh my god. All right, cool.
All right, so shit. What was your favorite cartoon?
Oof. Wow, man. I don't know.
I'm gonna probably go with like, okay, I can't say favorite, but the one that probably had, I would say probably Dragon Ball Z had the most influence.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I was watching something on anime the other day. They're saying Gundam is the most influential anime ever.
How so?
Without Gundam, you don't have these more storyline arced dark anime that we see a lot now.
Okay.
Because when Gundam was out, it was more different. It was dark. It was episodic. It even got canceled. But it was so sick that like another company picked it up and created toys. The toy line boomed, and then they made more anime on the Gundam wing.
Yeah, I think I had like a
series.
1-2 toys, but never really watched the show.
Those are like those Transformer looking.
See,
things,
you
right?
even know this. This is a 70s anime. You don't know Judge Dredd?
I don't know Judge Dredd.
Jesus Christ, my nigga. Oh, my
Actually, no, I'm gonna
God.
say probably my top cartoon got to be South Park.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
I don't know what my top.
Go, man, go.
I never really watched cartoon.
Yeah, I'm not really.
What kind of person are you, bro?
Yeah, Denzel, what are you into, bruh? What are you into, bruh?
Just music, I
Okay.
guess.
That's it. You don't watch TV. You don't watch
No.
movies.
Yo, he didn't even know who Jim Jones was.
He's 22. That makes sense.
I mean, I guess, but damn.
We're in 2025.
You said he didn't know the song. What year were you born?
02.
Yeah, he would.
I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, when did you start listening to rap?
Probably in
Like-
2012.
Yeah.
Fam,
About-
2012 is like. He was 10 years old at 2012. Can you imagine what was out there?
50 Cent.
Bro,
50's run was basically
That was done. 50's run was on a.
50 basically was done at like 08 about.
Yeah, like when Rick Ross was 08, like 2012 literally is Drake. Like he's a Drake baby.
Man, I didn't start listening to like mainstream music until like 2017 though.
So what were you
Jesus.
listening
Bro, I
to?
was listening to like Tupac and Big Pun and Biggie and Big L and Eminem for like until
so
like
basically the cornerstone. The foundation.
yeah.
Foundation.
That's all I was listening to until I was like
Good.
grade
It's good to hear.
10.
Did you ever want to
11.
rap? No. Okay.
So wait, Denzel, what got you into making beats then? Like what was it that what excited you about the beat making process or the process of like beats and like drums and fucking snares and shit?
I started playing piano in like grade 5 and then it kind of spiraled into being curious about how everything else comes about. And then yeah, I kind of just ran with it. When I figured out how to do it, like I was just remaking other people's tracks, other people's instrumentals. And I was posting it on YouTube and getting like the biggest one was like 50, 60,000 views or something.
Nice.
And then I just started started making like originals and then kind of
Took off.
yeah.
Good for you, man. Good for you. It's big.
It was a long journey.
Wait, so when you started making beats, like how long before your first placement?
I started like really making beats, like taking it seriously in like 2018, 19. And then I got that song
With Janie?
in like 2021 or yeah, I think it was 2021. Yeah.
Shit, I think I only released one song like that you had any production on so far. But I got a bunch of shit I recorded on your beats so far, or loops. I guess comment.
Yo, I didn't even know like loops were a thing for the longest time.
Yo, when I learned about that, that changed my life. I said, fuck making loops at that point. Like, yo, Blue got one of the only beats where I made the loop myself.
Who?
Blue.
Oh,
Was the one
Doughboy.
Doughboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I made that whole beat myself, like, no assistance on that. I remember I sent
Damn.
it to the homie to try, like, help me with it, and he tried to correct a whole bunch of shit. It's like, nah, don't do that. We're not gonna treat this beat like, do not use music theory on this shit. Do not do that.
I've never heard a full city beat from scratch. I don't think.
And this has no samples either. Like, it's all me and Stone.
Damn.
I did that shit. What a time to be alive.
So
Shit, I even got a next one. At this point, we can get into it later and shit. There's a bunch out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the pandemic times. Like, I was getting money, like, selling beats during the pandemic. Like, mans will be calling my phone 3 a.m. for beats.
Damn.
Like, waking me up my sleep. So, yo, send a pack. I'll send you a 50. Here you go.
Man, that's when like producers really locked in.
I don't know how they were even
Sure.
getting studio sessions. Like, if everywhere was closed.
everywhere was closed, but
There's always the
So-
low key little studios.
Like, if I
Man,
knew how to engineer at the time, I would have been getting a bag at the time for sure.
one of my buddies ran like a super low key studio, and he was like running sessions like 24 hours a day. It was crazy.
a little dangerous,
told
no?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't terrified to catch COVID?
Yeah, bro. What the
Like, really
fuck?
thinking about it? Like, I
He
feel
never
like I
got
wasn't-
COVID.
I feel like I wasn't tripping on COVID. But, like, you got mad people coming in and out the crib, and, like, I feel like, I don't fucking know. That does seem extremely risky. Like, did he live with his family?
No.
Wait,
So
he was doing the session at his crib or elsewhere?
he had a separate like studio.
But still, you keep bringing COVID home.
Yeah.
Did he have
It was
kids?
dangerous now.
I would say he was taking crazy risk. I know Shorty was pissed.
I think my boy did it too, my engineer, but it was only to specific artists that he worked with that he can trust, and he was willing to take the risk with that. But nothing outside of the circle that he would record, just the people who we knew. It worked for him because obviously that was his bread and butter and how he made money, and that's how he paid the bills at home. And if there's no studio, then there's no making money, and then that's a problem, you know? Which was probably the case for a lot of people during that time anyways, right? So he made it work. I was still able to record with him. I just gave him a bunch of money. Like, yo, just give me a 10-hour block. I'll come in, 2 days out the week or 3 days out the week, and just give me a 2.5-hour, 3-hour session. And kept money in his pocket, and he didn't have to outsource to 3 or 4 different people to make the same money. You know what I mean? So it worked out for both of us. But that's not the case for everybody. So your boy obviously felt different.
He locked in.
24 hours open.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Made a lot of money. Crazy. I'm sure he made a lot of money though. Fuck. Made a lot of money,
Hell
but
of a lot.
Yeah, I want to ask you, like, what was the worst song made on your beat?
I don't want to say it.
you can't say it, bro.
Is it who I think it is?
I can't say anything.
But I'm not. I'm not going to say a name. But is it who I think it is?
Fam, you could say it and we can bleep it out, bro. We'll just take it out the episode.
I don't feel like doing all that editing.
All right.
I mean, you could
Who
type
do you
it.
think it is?
Remember, I helped you sell some beats once.
Oh shit.
Yo, how did you know that guy? How did you
I
know
don't know
that
him.
guy?
Just like, chill out. I don't know that nigga. Yo, my homegirl just told me, like, yo, she knows someone looking for beats, and she said, like, yo, he's gonna hit you up. I said, all right, good looking.
Man, it's sad what happened.
And I remember that one day you told me, I don't know, I think there's something up with this guy. And I said, I think so too, but I don't know. And then one day we realized, oh shit, there's something up with this guy.
Yeah. Man.
So was there something wrong with him?
Yeah, no, he was like,
Okay, so was he making you feel uncomfortable?
We never met him.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing.
My whole
He
thing
was-
was my
he
whole
was-
thing was that he was just weird.
He was just very like odd and like
Was it a Jamaican song? Was it a Jamaican guy? No.
he.
Huh?
No, never mind.
Whoa. Hold on. What?
Never mind. I recently seen something that like
recently.
I
Nah, this
recently
was years
seen-
ago though.
Anyways, I want to ask you guys, producers in the room. I want to ask you guys, do you guys get offended when someone say uses your beat and not pay you, or do you guys take pride in someone just using your beats in general? You know,
Yo.
I feel like I'm kind of past the point. Like I don't know if I'm friends with someone, then I don't care. Like you could use my beat.
I mean, we stay breaking bread, so
Yeah.
You
So
know?
I don't care. But like.
I be paying for mad mixes, sending them clients and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone else got beats from you, like through me? Besides like the couple that I have like in the past, like I feel like no one really copped on like this year. Like I've been sending out your packs, but these artists haven't been serious. That's all I can say. So at this point, I'm just using your beats.
I feel like there's times where, I don't know this person. They're asking for beats and they assume that they're like free, or like there's nothing. Or we don't even need to do splits. But that's
Yo,
like
check this out. Yo, I sent out like maybe 10 of your beats to an artist. And after he's like, yo, how much for the full rights to it? I'm like, there is no full rights. Like, what we're going to do is 50-50, no matter if it's a lease or exclusive. And he's like, okay, how much to sell the composition rights? I'm like, what are you even talking about? Nah, bro. Like, he's like, I want you to just sell your cut. No, it's not happening.
wow.
oh, he doesn't want you to have a part of the beat. Period.
He just want me to own shit of this. No, we're not doing that. Like, I
He's
told
been
him,
doing his research.
I think I told him, yo, $400 for the exclusive. And he's like, damn. I'm like, all right, so here's what we could do. I could probably do like an EP for you, like 5-6 beats for that $400. Like, now, non-exclusive. You want to do that instead? He's like, nah. I'm like, so what do you want?
He wants all the rights, even like the production. He wants his name on the
He's probably
producer's
gonna take off the
credit.
beat tag and put his own.
Exactly.
crazy.
I mean, it is good business if it makes sense, but like if
Nah,
you
fuck out
if
here.
you
Stop
want
being a
your name,
bitch.
like if you want your name to be on your beat, then it's like, no, I'm not gonna sell my pub side to you. Like artists are just uneducated. They don't know like if they purchase an exclusive, whatever, they get all their mastering and all their side of the pub. Like that's more than what the producer gets regardless. So it's just like, why do you even want the rest of the 50% of the fucking pub? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why do you want that? Just go on easy. You
Like,
have
we don't do that at Death Crow Records, you know, like try and buy out the man them shit.
it's a sucky thing. Denzel, I want you to name your resume because I'm new to you. I don't know who you are. I'm sure everybody on the camera doesn't know who you are. Like you already mentioned Jay Neat. What other artists have you worked with, whether it's in the city or outside the city? Like what's your resume looking like?
It's nothing crazy. Just I have like, it's pretty much just Toronto guys like Houdini, Burna,
Rest
and
in peace.
yeah, that
Hold your
was
head.
crazy, man.
Cause you got Pressa too, no? Or that
Yeah,
never came
yeah.
out?
I have like 3-4 tracks to press up, but I
And
don't.
Yo,
This guy's so nonchalant. Like I had like a couple songs
'Cause he
like,
ain't rich
with
yet.
Houdini
But
and
he ain't rich yet.
But
He's like,
yo,
eh.
the Houdini was like the first artist that I ever like. That was actually, it never dropped, so it's technically not like a placement. But that was the first artist I ever like made tracks with. Like me and Houdini made 2 songs, and like we talked about like them dropping like couple months, and then in a couple months, and then yeah, he got what happened. And it was just it was such a shock. Like damn.
Yeah, life's short.
yeah, man.
Life's definitely short.
Where were you when you heard that news of Houdini, Denzel? Were you making a beat?
I think I was just driving, and then my boy called me, and
That's
he was
a
like,
bad
"Yo,
timing.
yeah, because this was like 2020, and I was just on the road, and my boy called me, and he was like, "Yo, did you hear the news?" And I was like, "No," and then I didn't believe it when he told me, and then I just went on I saw on Six Buzz they posted him, and I was like, "That's crazy."
That's like when Smoke Dog got killed. I was literally on the way to the studio, with my dog and 2 of my homegirls. And my homegirls are from region, so they know him. So like, this was fucked. Like they started breaking down.
Damn.
So they all grew up with him and all that, you know? Like, that session was dark still.
Yeah,
Extremely
man.
dark.
It gets rough.
But basically, Denzel done produced for like the Toronto artists that be doing numbers and shit.
The Toronto Avengers. Well, actually, the Avengers are like Drake, Tory.
I haven't even watched the actual Avengers movies either, so I don't know like what would qualify someone as an Avenger.
Just like the
It's the top guys.
yeah.
So who's the top villains?
I don't know, bro. I don't even listen to that much.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah,
like the
nice.
only Toronto rapper I really listen to is Burna, and that's it.
Man, Burna is still sick. Like he hasn't dropped anything in a long time because he's been locked
Like,
up.
and he
for a
doesn't even
minute, but-
have to, and his work's still going,
Yeah.
you know, it's still gonna be up there.
Yeah. But honestly, I just started making like R&B stuff and
And I started making
Afro
R&B beats on
and-
R&B songs on your beats too.
because honestly, like I feel like hip hop is on a massive decline.
They were saying that in the industry like last year, like word. Oh yeah, so shit, tell the people how we met, yeah. At boot camp.
We just met.
Basically, like we met like at like producer boot camp, and he was the only one that I really clicked with, you know. I got kicked out the boot camp early.
Nah.
No, I really did.
Nah.
Early. Okay, compared to okay, there's people that got kicked out like maybe like week 1 and week 2. I was there for maybe
Yeah,
like 3
actually.
months, but I still got kicked out. Look, put it like this: there was 4 that were left. Like you know what I'm saying? We had the 4 left, and I was part of the 4. And then one day they just said, "Get out of here." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Damn. Yeah, and then there was only 3 of us.
Shout out to Slime and K Coke, yo. I mean K Coke, K Coke. Holy fuck. Yo, his name always be confusing me, yo. But yo,
K Cook is he was a serious engineer.
yo, I seen this man fucking mix a song. Like, yo, there was mans were making beats on the fucking like the monitors and everything, and he had his laptop to his ear mixing a song.
He's talented.
And after he said, "I bet you I get it right," and after when he connect that shit to the computer, and he said, "Oh, let me just turn this down slightly," and that was it. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, man. He was great at what he did.
I don't know what he's doing these days.
Shout out to him though. I learned so much from him though. Him and Slime, like that was like my entry into engineering. I learned so much just from that boot camp.
I feel like I didn't really learn much, to be honest. Like I was just always chilling doing my own shit. I would just pull up with like loops and shit and like beats already made and say, "Yo, who could tweak these?" You know? 'Cause I didn't like the type of beats I was making versus the beats you guys were making was just different. So it wasn't really meshing more times, you know?
Yeah, we were in that we were doing that for so long and we didn't even make it on any albums.
I remember Cook showed us like 3 songs by Burna. I think it was Burna and what's his name? 2 times.
It's all up.
Yeah, Talib. And like we heard them, and he's like, "Yo, these are getting mixed. They're going on Burna's album." I'm like, "All right, bet." And Burna's album was dropping in like 2 weeks. All I know is that I think it dropped on like Christmas Day or something, or Christmas Eve. All I know is I woke up, like I must have woke up like right before midnight. After I said, "All right, that new Burna about to drop. Let's see what I'm on." But I'm like, I didn't get no paperwork yet. I'm like, "All right, we're gonna have to discuss that after." Yo, midnight hit. Download that Burna. Listen to like the first 5 seconds of every song. I realize I don't hear nothing I was involved with.
Oh,
I don't even know if you were involved with anything on that project.
I was on the next one.
You see what I mean? Like, and he said, he mixed those songs. They're going on there. And they didn't go on there. Until this day, I want to know, like, will they ever be released?
No.
Because, matter of fact, like, Burna was using, like, mad Crow Gang beats, too. He was showing me. Fucking Coco showing me. So, like, a lot of beats that I was just making myself and shit he was using. You know? And now we'll never know if we ever hear those songs. Crazy.
Probably not.
I mean, we can't say that. He might drop a new tape just now, and it might
Yeah,
have mad Denzel, XI, and mad Crow Gang, and you know what I'm saying?
You never know. You never know, but
Yeah, I still got those beats that we made.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember he did that choir one?
The Burner, I did a Burner one and one for fucking Presso too. Yeah, like sound like what's that shit? That Kodak song, Super what? Super Gremlins.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm on it, I'm on it. When I'm in producer mode. And then I just said, fuck, I'm gonna be an artist. Like honestly, once those tracks produced for Burner never dropped, I said, I'm going back to being an artist. Fuck this shit. And that's how we're here now.
yeah.
I mean, fair.
But, you know, we got to make a move and whatnot, so this episode getting wrapped up early and whatnot. So we're going to be back with it. But, shit.
Part 2.
You know what I'm saying? Any requests for when you come through the next time? Like, you want to have any extra guests and shit? You want to have strippers, poles right over there and shit?
Let's bring K Cook.
That's a man, sir.
No, whoa. What?
I said you want these strippers.
You said
like,
extra
bring K.
guests.
Cook.
You said guests first.
You said strippers on the place that break K. Cook. You're a coach, fam.
That's how you perceived it.
I didn't perceive nothing.
That's how you perceived
I heard
it.
what I heard.
You said guests. I said K Cook.
I said strippers after I said guests.
Oh, man.
All
Just
right,
bring
Bring
the
'em both.
K Cook.
Bring 'em
Yeah,
both.
bring the strippers and
Bring
K
'em
Cook.
both.
Let
See?
K
And
Cook
that's how
on
you
the
solve a
strippers.
problem.
That's it.
That's how you solve a problem, just like that.
No double bookings.
Exactly. No double bookings. Bring them both, man.
Shout out Crow Gang.
Is that how you ended it? Shout out Crow Gang.
Remember?
I was thinking to just end
That
it.
was
Yeah.
pretty dope.
That
I'm
was
not
pretty
gonna
dope.
lie. That was.
Did you press stop?
I mean, I still going, but like, I was like, was that the end?
All right, hold on. We
I
got
thought
the
that was the end.
Hold on,
I
we got
thought
the
that was
next
the
one.
end
We got
too.
the next one. If you ain't cooking with Denzel, you ain't cooking at all.
This is the
Let
old
Denzel
tag.
say it. Denzel, you say it to close out.
I can't. That's not the tag anymore, man.
What's the tag?
I don't even have a tag really anymore.
Oh,
I need to
fuck.
find a new one.
All right, we out.
Shout out Crow
So like I said, shout out Crow Gang.